Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and we're gonna get straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here is Humbl. Humbl today was flat. We did not go up, we did not go down, and so that was a pretty nice sign. Overall, we are holding our last level of support. After this point, we are in no man's land for Humbl. And so now that we're here, I want to talk about the authorized shares issues that a lot of people have with Humbl. The reason why I am not concerned about the 7.5 billion authorized shares is because one, the outstanding float is less than 1 billion, which is extremely bullish. And we have seen previous deals that Humbl has done where not only do they lock up shares on the market because of the equity stakes that a lot of their acquisitions take on, but they also structure deals where they don't issue any more shares and they don't add dilution into the equation. And so we have yet to see dilution from Humbl. Yes, there is a ton of authorized shares that they can use at any point in time and dilute shareholders, but we have seen nothing but solid deals and we have seen nothing but great stuff come out of Humbl, which makes me believe that we aren't going to use all of these authorized shares. However, if let's say we do use these authorized shares, what would that look like? I believe the only time we are going to use these authorized shares is if we're making major acquisitions. And if we have to make a major acquisitions, I am okay with issuing some shares if they feel that this acquisition is going to help shareholders. So just always remember that the people in charge of this company are also major shareholders. So if they issue more shares, they're diluting their own positions. And so at the end of the day, you are riding with them. If they did not have an equity stake, then maybe I'd be a little bit nervous because they don't have anything to lose, but they have more to lose than us retail investors do. So if you are afraid of these 7.5 billion authorized shares, you clearly haven't done your due diligence on this company and you haven't looked at the track record of this management team. Because if you've been doing your due diligence, you know since Humbl becoming its own entity, we have seen shares coming off the market and becoming locked up instead of being issued out. And so we've made multiple acquisitions in the last couple months and we have yet to dilute any shareholders. And so I expect the same to continue. However, if Brian Foote believes that he needs to dilute shareholders to make a major acquisition, I'm going to trust his instinct because he has not done anything yet to make us question what he's all about. And so today was a solid day because it looks like we could potentially be flatlining at these levels. A lot of people want cheap shares. And so my favorite part about uploading a video specifically on Humbl is all the bears that rush in, that try to say something that makes absolutely no sense to try to get people to sell their position. One guy said something like Humbl is down 87% in the last month and you're telling people to buy. Like, the logic on people is absolutely outstanding. Like, let's say you've wanted a jacket for a very long time, but it's at $1,000 and you can't afford that $1,000. And so one day it's on sale for 87% off. And so now you're looking at that $1,000 jacket down 87%, but you're like, nah, I don't want it. It's too cheap. Like, this is the type of logic people are using. And so this is just comedy for me at the end of the day when people be saying stuff that makes absolutely no sense. And so I just wanted to bring that up because I did think it was a little bit comical to see some people going hard in the comments. And so overall today we were flat on Humbl, nothing crazy going on. Load up while you can because at one point it's going to be too late. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN on the 30-minute time frame. We had a spectacular day today, up 8.6%. Still continue to trade in our triangle. Even though we closed above it, I would not be surprised at all to see IGEN continue to finish out this tomorrow and on Friday. We have our settlement date here on May 18th. And so you can see here, next week is going to be a big week for IGEN. If we get good news from our settlement, then eventually we will actually see our 50 SMA bounce off our 100, and that moment would be extremely bullish. However, if we get some bad news during our settlement and we end up going to trial, that will prolong any sort of news, which could lead people to sell their position, and that could let us see our 50 cross down, which won't look good. Overall, you could see the accumulation on the stock has been absurdly high. People are buying and holding this, and I expect people to continue to do so. This is a company that can get bought out, that at any moment in time, could go up 100%. IGEN is one of those stocks that I would not be surprised at all to see being up 150% in one day. And so overall, it's just going to be a matter of time before this thing snaps up. We're just getting closer and closer to all the dates that we have been waiting for. Summer is going to be huge for this company, and so I can't wait to see where everything goes. I continue to put orders in. They aren't filling anymore, and so I'm liking everything that's coming out with this stock. If I pull this out back onto our daily time frame, we got a pretty nice bounce off our signal line, and so that trajectory looks pretty nice right now. And so another green day could keep us going up, and overall we are still on a negative MACD, so we still have a lot of room to the upside if we could continue this momentum. Overall, crazy solid day here in IGEN. Next stock of the day, we're looking at WDLF on the daily time frame. So another strong day for one of our stock picks. We have Social Life Network up about 10% today. Overall, though, we are still just in no man's land. You can see we had a negative crossover of our MACD, but it does look like we may be coming right back up. And so overall, I do expect Social Life Network to be trading a lot higher than what it is right now for years to come. You're getting this stock at a penny, at a couple $100 million market cap when it's worth over $2 billion. So this is an easy play. If you guys have some money to spare, Social Life Network is going to be a strong play. Overall, we had a strong day today. I want to see a couple more green days and get this MACD to cross over to the upside. I feel like once we get this crossover back to the upside, we will start getting some bullish momentum. Until then, we are kind of just in no man's land. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. So SEGI down again today, and we did finally tag support on our 200-day SMA. And so the next couple of days are going to be critical. We want to see if SEGI can hold this 200-day SMA. You could see we haven't had price action at this point in a very long time. And so if we get a nice bounce off, today was probably a very nice opportunity to be getting into SEGI, but we will see if this one continues to drop down. Our accumulation over distribution is still pretty steady, meaning that we are getting slight divergence. We have steady accumulation, yet our price keeps going down. And so I do think this is a very nice opportunity to be getting into SEGI. However, we will wait and see to see where this one kind of bottoms out. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI on the daily time frame. So super solid day today, up 7%. You could see we bounced off our 200-day SMA, and so this was extremely bullish price action, and now we are getting very close here, and we are starting to coil up. We could have seen a slight double bottom here on ALYI, and this could be the start of a nice multi-day run. We'll see where this one wants to go. Like I said before, ALYI becomes a play once it's above this trend line and above our 50 SMA. Until then, you can continue to trade this, make some money, but in the market conditions that we're in right now, I want to play safe, and I don't want to have too much money in a lot of penny stocks, and so I just want to trade the best setups, and so I want to see price action above the 50 SMA to be in such plays like ALYI. Next stock of the day, we're looking at MJNA on the daily time frame. So we were up 6.73% today. Very strong day. We held support in our pattern very nicely, and so I do expect MJNA to continue to trade in this pattern, which does conclude June 25th. And so at this point in time, we will see a stronger move in MGNA, and we should be further along in the federal legalization process of cannabis, and so we may see some good news in that time frame about such process. And so MGNA continues to just trade in this channel, nothing really going crazy here. Next stock of the day, we're looking at RDGL on the daily time frame. So we're down 4.6%, and we have yet to see our pre-anticipatory run here in RDGL. Just remember, with pharmaceutical plays, they don't really follow overall market trends. They may go down and up slightly in favor of markets, but for the most part, these guys are independent because they can boom and bust very quickly depending on the results that they get for FDA. And so right now, we haven't seen any sort of movement. We're still very stagnant here on RDGL, so we have not yet got in here. Once we get our price action above our 50 SMA, we get our back test, that is when we will be back in on RDGL. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ACDC on the daily time frame. So ACDC is down about 4% today. A lot of EV plays continue to get clobbered, and ACDC is one of those as well. And so at the end of the day, I do expect ACDC now to back test our 200-day SMA, and let's see if we can hold it as a level of support. Our volume has been drastically down here on ACDC, so I'm very curious to see if we can hold this level. If we do, this would be a solid time to be buying ACDC for the long term. Next stock of the day, we're looking at STAF here on the daily time frame. So STAF continued to bleed down 3.45%, and this stock can't catch a break. But keep in mind here that the accumulation on this stock continues to go up. So this is clear divergence on the chart. And so at these prices, I would be a buyer for a long position. Because I have my capital elsewhere, I won't be buying STAF just now for a long position. More so, I will be buying call options on this stock. And so at these levels, you can't go wrong with this because of the accumulation that we've seen. People are accumulating while the share price is going down. We are well below all of our SMAs. And so at one point in time, we are eventually going to back test these. And so you will make some money from this point if you are buying STAF at these levels. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SNDL on the daily time frame, down 5%. And so the NASDAQ continues to get clocked and Sundial continues to get dropped. And so you can see we are holding this 200-day SMA of support very nicely. But remember, we just looked at the VIX. We just looked at how the market could continue to go down. And if the market continues to go down, Sundial will also continue to go down. And so we might start seeing very attractive prices on Sundial, and even at 70 cents, we are getting very attractive, but we could go lower. And so just be ready to pounce on any opportunity in Sundial. And so because this is a momentum play, I don't expect to open a long position. However, once we start to see a crossover of our MACD, we start to get some bullish news, I will be back into this because I will ride the momentum right back up, because I expect Sundial to prosper during this Biden era in presidency. There you guys have it. That was our quick little update on our penny stock watch list. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.